Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's video, we'll discuss about the proper problem regarding molar conductivity and conductivity of ionic substances. Okay. So now, in the previous video, we discussed about how to calculate the ionic conductance of ionic solution, right? Electrolytic conductance or ionic conductance. So now in this particular question, if you read the question carefully, they have given that resistance of a conductivity cell filled with 0.1 mole per liter KCl solution is 100 ohms. If the resistance of the same cell when filled with 0.02 mole per liter of KCl solution is 520 ohms, calculate conductivity and molar conductivity of 0.02 mole per liter solution of KCl if conductivity of 0.1 mole per liter solution is 1.29 Simon per meter. So now what they are trying to tell is, so we have taken a conductivity cell this time, okay, so we have taken a conductivity cell. So this particular conductivity cell when filled with 0.1 mole per liter, when filled with 0.1 mole per liter concentration of KCl solution, it has resistance 100 ohms. It has resistance 100 ohms and its conductivity kappa is equal to 1.29 Simon per meter. Okay, its kappa is 1.29 Simon per meter. Now further what they are asking is, we need to calculate the conductivity and molar conductivity if the same cell is filled with 0.02 mole per liter of the solution, mole per liter concentration of solution, whose resistance is 520 ohms. They have given the second solution's resistance. So if it is R1, this is R2, resistance is 520 ohms, but we need to calculate kappa and also lambda m of the second solution. Okay, so for this matter, first what we have to do is, if you consider a conductivity cell, we need to calculate the cell constant of this particular conductivity cell. Okay, so for the solution, cell constant G star, cell constant G star is equal to kappa into resistance. Because in the previous video we discussed about how to calculate kappa. Kappa is equal to G star by R, right? Kappa is equal to G star by R. Therefore, G star cell constant is equal to kappa into R. So therefore, substitute the values of kappa and resistance of 0.1 mole per liter of the solution. Because once you determine the cell constant for a particular concentration, particular conductivity, then that particular cell constant will be same for all the different types of concentration, which gives different types of R value. Cell constant for a particular solution is always same, but for cell constant for different solution it varies. Okay, so now for this particular experiment, the conductivity cell of this particular variations have same cell constant. So substituting the values, G star is equal to kappa is 1.29 into R is 100. So that gives us 129. Simon and ohm get cancelled. Remaining is per meter, which can also be written as 1.29 per centimeter. Okay. So the cell constant of the cell is 1.29 per centimeter, or you can also take 129 per meter. So once you determine the cell constant, now we can use the particular cell constant value to determine the kappa value of the second equation. Now for the kappa value of second solution, that is conductivity kappa is equal to G star divided by R2. G star divided by R2, that is equals to 129 per meter divided by 520 ohms. 129 per meter divided by 520 ohms. That gives us 0.248 Simon per meter. That gives us 0.248 Simon per meter. So that is the conductivity of the second solution, which we have calculated from this point. Okay. So now left is the calculation of lambda m. For lambda m calculation, we need to consider for the concentration of the solution. Now, if you observe carefully, they have given the concentration as 0.02 mole per liter. Since we are using meter over here, we need to convert the liters to meter cube. Therefore, 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. 2 is equal to 0.02 into 10 to the power 3 mole per meter cube. That is equals to 20 mole per meter cube. So this is the concentration. Now lambda m is equal to kappa divided by concentration. Kappa is 0.248 divided by 20. So that gives us 1. So 0.0248 divided by 2, that is equals to 0.0124 Simon. Okay, now for the SI unit, watch carefully. The SI unit tends to be a bit confusing. Now for kappa, it is Simon per meter. Kappa is Simon per meter. We have mole per meter cube at the denominator. Mole per meter cube, which on going to the numerator becomes Simon per mole per meter and meter cube. So that means it will be overall meter square. So therefore the unit is Simon per mole, or you can write it as Simon meter square per mole. So molar conductivity of this particular KCl solution of concentration 0.02 mole per liter is 0.0124 Simon meter square per mole. You can also write this value as 1.24 into 10 power minus 2 Simon meter square per mole. Okay, so this is how you calculate the molar conductivity and conductivity of a solution. I hope you have understood this problem. Next, we'll discuss about the topic called variation of molar conductivity and conductivity of a solution depending upon the concentration. So usually what happens is, when you vary concentration of a particular solution taken in a conductivity cell, it either tends to increase or decrease the conductivity and molar conductivity. That is because since we are considering an electrolytic solution, an electrolyte has ions present in it, and the electrolytic conductance is because of the number of ions present in them. Therefore, when you consider for the variation of conductivity and molar conductivity, variation of conductivity and molar conductivity, they both tend to decrease with decrease in concentration. So, if you observe in case of a beaker, if you consider a beaker, what happens is, let us say this is a certain type of electrolyte, maybe weak or strong. There will be certain amount of ions present in them. We know that more the number of ions present, more will be the conductance. If the number of ions present in the solution is less, conductance will be low. Therefore, out of strong and weak electrolytes, strong electrolytes conduct more electricity, whereas weak electrolytes conduct less electricity. Similarly, when you consider for a solution whose concentration is more and more decreasing, we observe decrease in the conductance also. If you consider for the conductivity of your solution, if its concentration is decreasing, we will observe decrease in conductance also. Therefore, what we can say is, as the concentration decreases, conductivity decreases. The main reason over here is, since we increase the volume, even though they increase the volume, what happens is the number of ions present per unit area or unit volume decreases. Right? If I say there are certain ions present in this and you add water, so what happens is these may spread over like this, right? So the number of ions present per unit area is going to decrease. Therefore, upon dilution, even though it is a strong electrolyte or a weak electrolyte, upon dilution, we observe its conductivity going to be decreasing. Okay. Therefore, we can clearly say that conductivity decreases with decrease in concentration. Now, what happens with the case of molar conductivity? For conductivity, what we know is conductivity G is equal to kappa A divided by L. Right? Kappa A divided by L. That is the equation for conductance, which is conductance is equal to kappa conductivity into area A divided by L. Now, if you are considering a solution which is taken in a conductivity cell of area of cross section A of concentration U, let the concentration of the solution be C, and this is the volume of the solution. So this particular area is nothing but the volume of the solution. Consider a solution of volume B, which is taken in a conductivity cell where the electrodes are separated by a length L. Electrodes are separated by a length L, which is equals to 1 unit length, and having area of cross section 1 unit square. Then the equation G will be equal to kappa, right? So what we can say is, if you consider a solution of volume B taken in a conductivity cell whose electrodes are separated by unit length and has area of cross section 1 unit square, then the conductivity will be equal to the conductance of the particular solution. Therefore, even though we increase the concentration, what we observe is, if we decrease the concentration, we'll observe the decrease in conductivity. Therefore, the conductance of a cell decreases with decrease in concentration. When we consider for lambda m, that is molar conductivity, we can say that lambda m is again nothing but the conductivity, that is kappa into A divided by L, depends upon kappa into A divided by L itself. But if you consider the solution of volume B and you are taking a particular solution in a conductivity cell which has area sufficient enough to increase the volume, okay, instead of taking a small area, I am taking a big area of cross section, and length, let it be 1 unit length itself. Then what we can say is, what we consider according to the conductivity is, with a decrease in concentration, G decreases. But when you consider for a conductivity cell which has a very huge area, sufficient enough to increase the volume to a higher extent, if you have area sufficient enough to increase the volume of the solution to a higher extent, this equation Ka by L will be equal to lambda m is equal to K into V. That is because L being unit length, A is completely covered by the total volume. What we can say is lambda m will be equal to kappa into V. In this case, it was just kappa. Conductivity was equal to kappa, but molar conductivity lambda m will be equal to kappa into volume of the solution. That means if you consider for the dilution of solution, conductivity decreases with concentration. But in this case, molar conductivity is not just depending upon the concentration of the solution, but also it is depending upon the volume of the solution. Therefore, what we can say is molar conductivity may increase. Okay, molar conductivity may increase if the volume which is increased is compensating the decrease in the value of kappa. Okay, so let us say, just consider these 2 points. I am increasing the concentration and decreasing the concentration by adding water. What happens is volume increases, right? By adding water, volume increases, but the conductivity decreases. Once you observe a decrease in conductivity, let us say for about -2 or -3 points, if the amount of volume increased is compensating the decrease in kappa value, okay, if the amount of kappa decreased is compensated by the increase in the total volume, then lambda m will also increase. So what do you mean by compensation is, if you observe a decrease in conductivity for about 2 to 3 points, we have to observe a volume increase by 4 to 5 points. The volume is increasing by 4 to 5 points and kappa is decreasing by 2 to 3 points. What we can see is the total overall reaction is increasing by either 2 points, right? So it is increasing by 2 points. That means if the increase in volume upon dilution is compensating the decrease of kappa value, then the molar conductivity will of course increase. So what we can say is the conductivity of a solution might decrease with the decrease in concentration, but if we have a conductivity cell of huge area and it has sufficient space enough to increase the volume of the solution filled in it, then the lambda m will increase with increase in dilution or decrease in concentration. Okay, so that is what you are explaining here. If you increase the lambda m, or if you increase the volume by decreasing the concentration, lambda m will increase. So how to decrease the concentration? The concentration always decreases in the square roots, that is an exponential form. So when you consider for a solution, let us say if you plot a graph of concentration versus lambda m. If you plot a graph of concentration versus lambda m, what we observe is it decreases exponentially. Okay, that is, if increasing concentration, lambda m decreases, we know that. But once you decrease the concentration to the zero value, we will obtain a particular state where lambda m becomes maximum. So if you observe carefully here, on increasing the concentration, lambda m is decreasing. That means we are increasing the concentration means we are removing water. That means we are decreasing the volume. Remember, concentration and volume might be a reciprocal. So increasing volume means decreasing in concentration. Here we are increasing the concentration. Lambda m is decreasing exponentially. When the concentration becomes zero, when the concentration of the solution becomes zero, then lambda m reaches a particular point called lambda m naught. It reaches a particular point called lambda m naught, which is called limiting molar conductance. Lambda m naught is called the limiting molar conductance. That means conductance of a solution at zero concentration. Limiting molar conductance. Limiting molar conductance. That is, the conductance of a solution at zero concentration is called the limiting molar conductance, given by the equation lambda m naught. Okay, so this is about the variation of molar conductivity and conductivity with respect to concentration. Conductivity decreases with decrease in concentration, but if you have a conductivity cell whose area is wide enough to accumulate sufficient amount of volume, then upon increasing the dilution, or if you are increasing the volume by decreasing the concentration, then molar conductivity increases. Therefore, if you plot a graph of lambda m versus c to the power 1 by 2, it decreases exponentially. At a particular concentration of 0, lambda m will be a value called lambda m naught, known as limiting molar conductivity or limiting molar conductance. Okay. In the next video, we'll discuss about the variation of lambda m naught for strong and weak electrolytes. I hope this is understood. You have understood this concept. So if you have any doubt, please do go through this video once again, the second part about the variation. And further, if you yet have certain doubts, please mail them to me on my mail ID which I have provided in the description. Thank you for watching.